All right, I want to welcome everyone to our live Saturday morning presentation. My name is Dan Hammer, and I have the distinct honor of being able to make this presentation today with David Munoz. David, why don't you go ahead and say hi?
Hey, good morning, everyone. I'm glad to be on with you, Dan, and glad that those of you that are joining or listening to this presentation, and maybe after the webinar, because you didn't get a chance to be on Saturday, welcome. And we are looking forward for you to get a lot from this Hispanic resource tools that I think are valuable, as almost everyone knows a Hispanic family, and Lord knows we need to improve our health. So thank you, Dan.
You're welcome, David. And just so we can get started, today we're going to be looking at Hispanic resource tools that are available to you. We'll show you the exact location where this is at. And the reason why we're presenting this information is not only is there a very large Hispanic population here in the United States, but effective October 1st of this year, which is just a couple weeks away, Synergy Worldwide will be opening up in Mexico. They have contracted with a third-party entity in Mexico that has the infrastructure necessary. So the products will be two that they'll be initially using for distribution in Mexico, which will be ProArch-9 Plus and the Immune Booster. And the third party that they're working with has the necessary infrastructure so that they can warehouse the products in Mexico and be able to deliver the products from the warehouses in Mexico directly to the people in Mexico, which is, from a logistics standpoint, is just fabulous. It's great. And so we want to be able to help you understand where your Hispanic resource tools are at and how to use them, as well as we also want to talk about what's called the PuraVida. David, you always have to correct me on
Yeah,
that.
it's a POO, Pura.
Ooh, PuraVida
There you
challenge
go.
from Synergy Worldwide. And we just want to help you understand that it's a doable challenge contest that Synergy put together with a fantastic place we're going to, which is Costa Rica. So let's go ahead and start first, David, with helping people understand where they can find the Hispanic resources. Everything starts at our website that we created for our Synergy family, and that's the URL, oursynergyfamily.com. And that is a platform that we created that has a lot of information. It has information for recruiting. It has the compensation plan. It has the Path to Prosperity workbook that Bob and Judy have been going through for these last couple of weeks. When you go down here, we have specific marketing strategies. We have a dedicated page for nitric oxide therapy with our product of choice being ProArch-9 Plus. We have a page for weight management with our product of choice being the Biome Core Kit, natural energy with our product of choice being E9, immune health with our product of choice being the new immune booster, cholesterol concerns with our product of choice being the metabolic LDL, and then athletic performance. And again, our product of choice for athletic performance is ProArch-9 Plus. I know that they have ProArch-9 Plus active, but I'm still a firm believer that you want people on ProArch-9 Plus. That is specifically designed to optimize nitric oxide, which helps athletes perform at higher intensity with less lactic acid. And then when you scroll down further, we have some dedicated icons for other pages. And as you can see, here is the one for Spanish resources. And if you click on Spanish resources, it takes you to this page. And as you scroll down the page, there are two videos. So David created this first video on the left-hand side, which is a non-branded video. David, why don't you share some information on your video, how long it is, what you try and help people understand, and how we can use that video to create interest.
Well, first of all, Dan, thank you. And I created this video on a platform called Pictory, and we'll be talking about that later on in another webinar, but certainly that's a valuable tool. And it is about a three and a half minute video. And what it does, it really explains in a very simple to understand way in Spanish with the subtitles so they can read along the three basic things you can do if you suffer from a cardiovascular related illness. And it will go into the basic, very engaging videos and slides to show what people can do. And we go over the three things. And of course, the last being that you take control of your cardiovascular health by selecting a L-arginine based supplement, which of course, and we know it's PuraArginine Plus, but the video is non-branded. It is also does not mention the product. And that's very important for a strategy level so that people can get curious and want to know more. So Dan, the video ends in saying, if you are ready to take control of your health, then contact the person that shared this video with you so that that person then can learn what L-arginine based product we would recommend. And of course, there we segue into PuraArginine Plus, which then of course goes into the next video on the right-hand side, which is a great video in Spanish, the PuraArginine Plus that Synergy prepared for the Hispanic market.
So on the page that we've created for the Hispanic Resources, we're firm believers that videos do a lot of the work for you. That your job is to create the interest, and then once the interest is there, share it with a person. You know, I've got a fantastic video that will help you better understand this. And is it all right if I get your email address so I can send it to you? And if people are, you know, that question, that statement is meant to be a qualifier. Let me go in and mute someone here. Excuse me a second. That statement is meant to be, and question is meant to be a qualifier so that you can, if a person is willing to give you their email address, then you know that they're interested in wanting to get further information. So once you have that, the videos are designed to do the information sharing for you. And we do the videos for a couple reasons. One, you don't have to be the expert. Let the video be the expert. And then the second reason is if a person becomes interested in the business, they don't feel like they have to model your knowledge base where you're an expert. What they have to model is your technique, which everyone can learn. What's the technique? Create interest, ask a question, get their email address, and then send them a link to the video. People can model that technique as opposed to trying to feel like they have to understand everything about nitric oxide therapy and everything about the product. So you use the videos to help provide the information to move them along the process of saying, yes, I want this. David, anything you want to share before we continue on?
Yeah, Dan, it's a great comment. You said that the video tells the story. The video really explains and does the work for us. And it's so very simple to be able to send a video and share a video with a Hispanic speaking person. And when they do, you know, a lot of times what happens is that person will find the video so interesting that they will continue to share it along. So I would encourage people that when you share the video, also mention that you may know someone who can benefit from it. So feel free to share it with your family or share it with other people you might know that are in a situation where they want to take control of their health with a natural-based product. Of course, working with their doctor, and that's what the video also recommends, that you work with your professional, medical professional, and let the video do the talking for them. So not only the one on the left, but the one on the right is also shareable. The other thing I wanted to say, Dan, is the videos can be used in sequence. You can send, when you engage a person and say, you know, I have a great video, please watch this one first and this one second. They're less than 3 minutes each, and they're very simple to understand. And I'll follow up with you. So that can be a strategy in and of itself in just engaging the person to want to know more.
Sure. And then if you're sending them email to them, like what David suggested, in the email, you can also say, our product of choice for nitric oxide therapy is PuraArginine Plus. And so here, you know, I don't have anything in front of me, but because we've done this so often, it would be something like this. Dear David, thank you for your interest in wanting to take charge of your health. Here's the link to the video that I shared with you. Please watch it. And if you're interested, you know, so then I had the link there. If you're interested in using nitric oxide therapy to improve your cardiovascular health for you and your loved ones, then watch this second video. Our product of choice is ProArch-9 Plus, and this video will help you understand why. And then you have the link to that second video. And then whether you send an email or not, don't expect them to follow up with you. It's your responsibility to follow up with the people that you send an email to. Have you watched the video? What did you think? Do you have any questions about it? Can you see how nitric oxide therapy could benefit you and your loved ones? A series of questions to engage them in helping them to understand whether they want to get this product or not. It just, again, it's a process, and it's the process that people can learn to be successful, as opposed to becoming experts in endothelium, nitric oxide, all the ingredients. Again, just let the videos do the work for you. You just become an expert in the process.
One more thing about the email, Dan. When
Yes.
you send the email, Synergy has a Spanish language line, and we can add to the email that Spanish language number that they can call Synergy, and they have people now. In fact, there's more Spanish speaking support people now, bilingual, than there are English only. So, Synergy has prepared itself for a larger amount of calls with Hispanic speaking people. So they'll be able to take action immediately if they want to get on the product, and you can give them the Spanish language line, of course, your distributor number. So when they call, they can order the product and you would get credit for it.
Great suggestion, David. Absolutely great suggestion. Thank you. Now, as we shared at the beginning, Mexico is supposed to open October the 1st, and there are two key products for the Mexico market, ProArch-9 Plus, as well as the Immune Booster. And so these are, the one on the left is a PDF created by Synergy Worldwide on ProArch-9 Plus. It's in Spanish. It's their ProArch-9 Plus science sheet. Again, all you have to do is right-click, copy image address, and you can send that link to a person, or you can directly click on the image, and you can then copy and paste that link into an email. But again, this is the science of ProArch-9 Plus in Spanish. So that's a resource that you have for you. On the right-hand side is the Immune Booster, the fact sheet for the Immune Booster in Spanish. And then in the middle, we have an instruction sheet that was created by David. It's in Spanish. It helps people understand how to properly use ProArch-9 Plus. So the middle one is something that we created, which helps our distributors better understand how to implement a strategy of properly taking ProArch-9 Plus so that people can have the highest degree of success using that product.
And that instructor sheet is important, Dan, because a lot of people do get a sensitive reaction to it, whether it be a loose bowels, or sometimes they'll feel, the system is designed to improve your cardiovascular health, and some people will feel tingling in their feet or something. So it's always good to include that instruction sheet, because it does go in a very a standardized way of taking the product, and that would, I'd say, contribute to preventing those unexpected reactions.
And what David talked about in terms of that initial email, where you give the Synergy number, the Hispanic number that people can call, as well as your ID number. If a person does become a customer with Synergy Worldwide through your ID number, they're tracked to your tracking center one, but you get a notification from Synergy Worldwide that when you have a new customer, they will send you a notification to the email address that you have on file with them. And once you get that notification, then you know that you have a new customer. It's your job to follow up with that new customer, where you would send them an email and say, "Dear David, thank you for becoming a customer with Synergy Worldwide. I see that you've placed an order for the ProArch-9 Plus. Here is the instruction sheet that we use in our organization to help people get the best results out of this product." And again, you would just have in your email the copy the image address, and you would then send that email address in your email so they can click on it, and it would open up this PDF that they can easily print off. So again, if you click on the image, it takes you to the PDF that we've created, and you can easily print that off. That person can easily print it off. You can print this off and have some extra copies that if you're meeting people in person and they're getting on the product, then you can give them the hard copy as opposed to a PDF file that you would send them. Anything before we go on to the next part, David?
No, we're good, Dan.
All right. Now, when it comes to the business side of Synergy Worldwide, where they're interested in becoming a distributor as opposed to just being a happy product user, here are the forms that are necessary, all in Spanish. Here's the get started form for Mexico. You can use the same form here in the United States if you want to, but this is in Spanish. Here are the policies and procedures for Synergy Worldwide in Spanish. Here's the compensation plan in Spanish. So if a person's interested in the compensation plan, you can send them this PDF. Policy and procedures, if a person becomes a distributor, then send them the policy and procedure. It's not your responsibility to read it to them, but it is your responsibility to make sure that they have that information. And all it is, again, a simple email. David, thanks for joining us in Synergy Worldwide. I'm excited to work with you and helping you build a large distribution for the two key products that we have in Synergy that's now offered in Mexico, ProArch-9 Plus, which is my product of choice for nitric oxide therapy. I've been using that since 2008. I have such a large client base that uses this, and that is key. You can build a huge client base, just product users that will put cash flow into your pocket. And then I also want to send you the link to the policies and procedures. You read through it so that you understand, what you can and cannot do. And then also here's a link to the compensation plan in Spanish. And if you have any questions on the compensation plan, I can help you with those questions. So again, you create an email to your new distributor, helping them to understand that you're there to help them begin to build the excitement in building their organization. And their organization can be built on customers and distributors. That's what's unique about Synergy Worldwide. Customers and distributors. And when we talk about the challenge coming up, both customers and new distributors create points for you to help you qualify for this challenge going to Costa Rica. David, anything before I move on to the next part?
No, only that you're giving me ideas, Dan. This is a great tool and a great video we're doing here, refreshing. The resources available are just fantastic in Spanish, and certainly I had forgotten about the compensation plan in Spanish, which I will start sharing. It's a great tool. Great.
Now, there are some additional Hispanic resources, some that you could use in Mexico, which would be the immune booster pass out card and the ProArch-9 Plus pass out card. Again, and there's also a ProArch-9 Plus brochure. So maybe you want to send the brochure instead of the science sheet for ProArch-9 Plus. You make that decision. In any decision that you make, the first thing that you want to do is click on the image, read through the information. Just like down here, I can click on the image. It's going to open up to that brochure in Spanish that's all about ProArch-9 Plus, and I can make the decision whether this is the piece that I want to send, the link to, or do I want to send the science one? I personally prefer the science one because it's a bit more detailed with regards to why this has become our product of choice. This is in Spanish, so I can't speak to it, but basically, the talks about the clinical study done in ProArch-9 Plus and how there were two things that came out of that clinical study. One, this product, ProArch-9 Plus, creates nitric oxide more rapidly and at a higher level than using just L-arginine alone. And then the second thing that came out of this is that this product helps to prevent vascular inflammation, and it goes into the details of why and how. And then it also does what I feel a better job in terms of looking at the different ingredients that are in it and the benefits that come from those different ingredients. This is why I like the science sheet better than the other sheet that Synergy has with regards to just the brochure. When you're looking at the pass out cards, again, you can use those. If you have people that you're talking to here in the United States who's Hispanic and they want information in Spanish, then you can talk about E9, or you can talk about Mystica or liquid chlorophyll. Also, when we come down here, one of the things that Synergy Worldwide has done to help people not make income statements that can't be verified is, let's say a person asks you, well, how much money can I make? You got to be careful what you say to people in today's world. And so what Synergy Worldwide did is they created a 2020 average earnings. This is in English for those that are on here that are interested, but this is in Spanish. And as it scrolls down, it tells people, how many people, this is the breakout in terms of what kind of money people make on a annual basis. And so you can see percentage wise what people can make in terms of income from Synergy Worldwide, which is nice. The other thing that always comes up is, can I say that? Or what kind of things can I say about a product? Again, this information is now in English, but it's also in Spanish. So you can click on this. It takes you to a PDF, which is again, a great PDF for a person to be able to go through and be able to understand what they can and cannot say with regards to our products, to keep you from not getting yourself in trouble, not getting Synergy Worldwide in trouble. So you have this one here that this is new that they've created. This here they've had for a while. It's also in Spanish. Not sure why that didn't happen.
That one didn't work for me either this morning. Yeah.
I'll have to go back in and see why. Maybe they've decided to just go with the can I say that PDF, because that was live as of Thursday when we originally talked. So anyways, I'll have to go in. Maybe I've got something wrong with the link. And then there's the product catalog. So the product catalog there again has the products that are available here in the United States. And again, that catalog is in Spanish.
I could say one thing about that, Dan. The product catalog doesn't include the immune booster. So when I share that product catalog with clients and I send it to them, I take advantage of sometimes printing out the immune booster, or in the case that clients are not savvy with the computers, and it does happen with our senior population, or I guess other populations, English or Spanish, I will print out one of the marketing sheets or the immune booster and send it to them by email with a note saying, this is an additional product, one of the newest product that came out with Synergy Worldwide. I want to make sure you didn't miss out on learning about this one too. And of course, that's another point of contact that engages the clients.
Sure. And the one that David's talking about is, again, the link that we have here. All you have to do is just click on the image, and it's going to open up to the PDF, and you can download that to your computer and you can print it off.
Mm-hmm. Or email it as an additional attachment.
Yep. All you have to do is, all you have to do right now is just copy that, paste it into your email, or you can just go onto the image, right click the image, copy image address, same thing. And then Synergy also has 7 ways to get paid. They have a tear sheet called 7 Ways to Get Paid. It's in Spanish. Again, all you have to do is just click on it, and it's going to open this up. And if you're doing a presentation with a person where you're showing people information, this is a great resource tool to help people understand the different ways that we can create cash flow for our Synergy business. Or you can send this link in an email, or you could do a Zoom presentation. I mean, that's the beauty. We're on Zoom here, We've got people in Barbados. We have people throughout the United States, Puerto Rico. That's the beauty of Zoom. You can get a Zoom account. You can send them your Zoom URL. You can set up a time for a person. Hey, I'll walk you through the compensation plan. And then just like I'm doing today, just like David and I have done multiple times on Saturdays, we show our screen on Zoom. You can then walk a person through this information and help them understand how they can create revenue, cash flow for their synergy business through the different parts of the compensation plan. David, anything else that you would like to share off of this page?
The resources are excellent. And of course, just remind them if they prefer to print it out and send it by mail, it's an additional way to contact them. But what you've explained is pretty thorough, Darren. Thank you.
All right. Well, that's the page. And if you do have a question about the Hispanic marketplace, David has graciously provided his phone number that, he's willing to help you understand how to use these resources effectively.
Correct. And I'll certainly go hand in hand and help you out and point you in the right direction, mostly for our group. However, if anyone has a strategy you want to put in place, I can always listen to your strategy and make some suggestions that what you might do different or to improve it.
Great. Thank you, David. So, David, let's go to the challenge. Let me get to, there we go. All right, David, I'm going to let you tell us what the challenge, how is this titled?
All right, PuraVida. PuraVida is a saying that applies just to Costa Rica, because when people say that's cool, and if in the Spanish language, in the English language, you see a nice car, say that's pretty cool. At least in my generation, that's what they said. Maybe it's different now, but in Costa Rica, it's always been PuraVida. You pull up with a nice car, they'll say PuraVida, or you wear some really neat clothes, they'll say PuraVida. And that's a saying, so it's very appropriate to the challenge in Costa Rica, or the Costa Rica challenge for Synergy Worldwide. And how exciting is this, Dan? I want to tell you, I traveled as a banker in the 80s and early 90s extensively to Central and South America. And I traveled to most of the countries, Guatemala, El Salvador, Honduras, Costa Rica, also, of course, Mexico. And I want to say that one of the countries that I went to that has no military, because all the money is really pushed back into the population, into education, into the infrastructure of the country, is Costa Rica. So that impressed me most as a difference of the other countries. And it's fun. They put a lot into tourism. So this PuraVida challenge that Synergy is offering is not only a fun thing to participate in, but it's also very reachable, as Dan will explain in a minute, how you can qualify for it. So it's January 26th through 30th in Costa Rica. And so Dan, I'll let you go into the details, but all we need to do is accumulate a combination of 7,000 points, which is very doable. And it's a trip that includes you and a person you want to take, spouse, a significant other, to Costa Rica. And what's exciting, Dan, it's really all expenses paid and a credit towards the airfare, which is pretty cool. So yeah, I think this is going to be a fun challenge to look forward to.
So this challenge has been going on since the beginning of August, and it ends at the end of November. Now, August is past, and we're halfway through September. That's why we wanted to do this. Quite frankly, I didn't know about this challenge until about 2 weeks ago. And I stumbled across it because I went onto the Synergy blog. David and I were talking about Mexico, and we wanted to see if there was anything on the blog with regards to Mexico. And as I scrolled down, I saw this challenge. I'm going, what is this challenge? And I clicked on it, and I started to read this challenge. I've been on a lot of trips with Synergy Worldwide, and some of those trips are a little bit harder to earn than others. But when I saw this trip and I saw the number of points, 7,000, and the 4 categories that you're eligible to create points in, I saw this as a doable challenge for most people in Synergy Worldwide, no matter where you're at, whether you're a beginner in Synergy Worldwide, for a new distributor coming into Synergy Worldwide, or whether you've been in Synergy Worldwide for a long time. This challenge is doable. And the location, I clicked on the link for the location, David. I've got it up here. This is where we're going. This place is fantastic. My wife, I told my wife about this, and she went on to this and she goes, I've never seen a place like this before. It is just phenomenal in terms of the location, the rooms, everything about this location is just a phenomenal place for Synergy Worldwide to take us. And your job is to go to work. Nothing happens without work. So let's go to work. Let's see how many people can qualify for this. My suggestion to you, if you're going to go for this and you don't have a current passport, next week, you go to the local post office where you're at and you do what you need to do to get your passport updated so it's current. If you already have a passport, you don't need to worry about that. But if you don't have a passport, or if you need to update your passport, you need to go next week, because the post office, the government, is extremely slow in getting passports back. It used to take about a month and a half. Now it's taking close to 3 months to get a passport back. So you just want to go. If this is going to be part of what you're going to do because you want to be in in Costa Rica, then make sure that you have a valid passport. And if you don't, get to the post office next week, get the process started. Now, there's a PDF for this. The date that you're going, the contest ends at the end of November. So you basically have 2.5 months to work at this to be able to acquire the necessary points to be able to earn your trip. As David talked about, it's 7,000 points, and you earn those points in 4 basic categories: customer acquisition, sponsoring, TC1 volume, and rank advancement. So let me increase the size of this here so you can see the points. Each new customer with a minimum of a $100 order, you then get 250 points for that new customer. Plus, that new customer creates volume, CV, on your tracking center 1. So whatever that volume is, let's say a person got a jumbo jar. Jumbo jar is 150 points. Or is it 170? I have to go and look.
70.
170.
Mm-hmm.
So a jumbo jar is 170. So that would be 170 points. Plus, if it's a new customer, 250 points. So 250 plus 170, that's 420 points for each new customer that gets a jumbo jar. If you had 10 customers between now, 10 new customers between now and the end of November, that would be 4,200 points. And some of those new customers would maybe refer other people to join Synergy Worldwide as customers. Now, I don't know what referrals will do in terms of the 250. That would be a question I would need to call consultant support on. But if I've got a customer, existing customers or new customers, and they refer someone to Synergy Worldwide and those individuals buy products, they're still tracked, even though I wasn't the person who got them to become a customer. But if one of my customers does that, whatever the person orders, their volume is attached to my tracking center 1. So anything that you do between now and the end of November to increase your customer base and help your existing customers increase the products that they're ordering, all goes towards points that you can earn towards the 7,000. Now, the only caveat is that you have to have your points come from at least 2 of the 4 categories. So that means if you get 1 new customer, that's 1 category, and all the CV volume on your tracking center 1 qualifies. If you get a new distributor who wants to join you in Synergy Worldwide, they have to come in with a minimum of 150 CV, but that's what the minimum activation order is anyways. So for every new distributor that you bring into Synergy Worldwide, that's 500 points. If you brought 4 new distributors in between now and end of November, that would be 2,000 points. If you brought in 10 new customers between now and the end of November, on a jumbo jar, there's your 4,000 points. Now you're within striking distance of that 7,000. You know, one new distributor, a couple new customers, or existing customers who are ordering products during that time, all create that additional volume on your tracking center 1. So this really is a doable contest for people. If you bring a new person into Synergy Worldwide, they can again acquire points through customers that they bring in or new distributors that they bring in, the volume on their tracking center 1. And then as they use our proper sponsoring and placement techniques, and they're bringing additional distributors into their organization, especially if you're opening up Mexico and they're bringing other people in Mexico into Synergy Worldwide as distributors, help them use proper sponsoring and placement techniques, because then as they go through rank advancements, they're also earning points. Star 150, bronze 300, silver 500, gold 1,000. You know, they may not reach team leader at 2,000, but again, all these points add up because they're bringing other people into Synergy Worldwide. And again, if they use this challenge as an incentive for the new distributors that they bring in, where people can see themselves, okay, let's go to work. Let's see how many of us as our group can qualify so that we can all enjoy Costa Rica together, where you make it a team process and encourage people in your organization to get to work, do the necessary things to acquire distributors, do the necessary things to acquire customers, help your existing customers, understand, how to, get products from Synergy Worldwide, see if they need to place an order, all the little techniques that if you just use your time and resources properly can make a huge difference in helping you get to the 7,000 points necessary to be able to enjoy this challenge and be in Costa Rica. David, anything you want to share?
The only thing I could share, Dan, is I have a particular strategy that I will be following, and it's something that normally you would do normally as a Synergy distributor, but these kind of challenges really put you back in focus in terms of what your strategy should be. So certainly just contacting 5 people every day, whether it be by email, whether it be posting a social media post, by picking up the phone and calling them, whether it be new customers or old customers, just sharing it. And of course, it can be something as simple as just grabbing one of the marketing materials we use and emailing it to 5 people. You have done it, but it's just a daily discipline that we can do. And if we've obviously focusing on the Costa Rica trip is fantastic, but I feel that by simply doing a daily discipline of taking 30 minutes to an hour a day just to send out information and follow up, you would be doing just enough. You'd be doing enough to qualify, and probably more, just by creating interest in good health. And that's what we're all about, Dan. We're all about helping people improve their health, change their lives as our lives have been changed. And if you could transfer, as I say, that emotion to other people, that possibility of growing old younger, as I say, we will easily qualify for this trip just by doing the things we want to share with other people. So thank you, Dad. That's about all I have.
Okay. And so as each month, what Synergy does is they show the top 100. I'm not sure if they're going to expand that. But again, if you want to see if you're begin to qualify, you can go on the blog and they have this image that you can increase. Let me get over here. So I've got what, 1,500 points. I'll qualify at the end of this month to go to Costa Rica. There's other people like Arnold's in my organization. Arnold is what, 2,300. He'll most likely qualify at the end of September to be able to go to Costa Rica. So again, this is doable, especially if you understand the power of customers. I've been preaching this forever. Customers are as important to you as what distributors are. And again, just as David talked about, put in place a game plan. How much, if you took an hour a day, which most likely, David, given what you shared of contacting 5 people on a daily basis, maybe if you called them, it might end up being an hour if there was conversation with people. But if you email, if you, just social post, whatever, an hour or less a day, Monday through Thursday, would most likely, and you were consistent with that, starting on Monday and continued that through the end of November, you would begin to create momentum in your Synergy organization that would allow you to begin to acquire these necessary points, and you'll see how they accumulate. And as you get closer and closer to 7,000, the incentive becomes even greater and greater. Anything else, David, before we open this up to see if anyone has questions?
You've covered it very well, Dan, and I'm glad you shared this top 100 things sheet, because it'll be interesting to see the number of people that will be qualifying as the time goes on. And certainly it's an exciting contest, and certainly look forward to being part of it.
Absolutely. So do we have any questions from anyone before we say goodbye today? All right. Well,
hello, Dan, it's Donald.
Yes, Donald.
I don't have too much to add, except to mention that tomorrow, which is the 3rd week in September, is Peripheral Arterial Disease Week. And I think that it is an incentive to talk about peripheral arterial disease as, I should say, progeny as it relates to relieving blood clots and helping to relieve blood clots and stuff like that. So it's one way of mentioning. So thank you. And I hope that that helps people to focus in that direction.
Sure, Donald, and I'm glad that you brought that up. The only thing I would just suggest as a little bit of a change, nuance to what you're talking about, is again, peripheral arterial disease, how nitric oxide therapy can help to address that. And then if you're interested, our product of choice is ProArginine Plus, as opposed to putting ProArginine Plus up there in the place of nitric oxide therapy. Again, you want nitric oxide therapy to be the way to address peripheral arterial disease, and then our product of choice is ProArginine Plus.
Thanks for being as clear as you are on that, Dan. And because it was saying it out of my head, I framed it that way, and I want to thank you for pulling me back and reminding me how it should, in fact, be said. Appreciate that.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Anyone else before we say goodbye? David, thank you for your input today. Always appreciate what you have to share.
Thank you, Dan. Glad to be part of it, and looking forward to seeing a lot of people out there in Costa Rica.
All right.